We're about to dive into something pretty serious. It's a critical warning from a cardiologist that could completely change how you think about your health, especially when you're not doing anything at all. It's a danger that's hiding in plain sight.
Okay, so picture a heart attack. What's the first image that comes to mind? Is it someone clutching their chest on a treadmill? Or maybe trying to lift something way too heavy? Well, a leading cardiologist has a pretty startling warning for us. That's not when it usually happens, not even close.
That's right. The vast majority happen when you're just sitting, resting, completely still. I know, it's a jarring thought because it goes against every dramatic scene we've ever seen. We all know the scene, right? I call it the Hollywood heart attack. It's always loud, it's always dramatic, and it always happens during some moment of extreme physical stress. But the thing is, that's mostly fiction. The reality is, well, it's a lot quieter, and unfortunately, a lot more common.
This reminds me of a guy I used to work with. He was in his mid-30s, looked super healthy, always hitting the gym. Then one day, a totally normal Tuesday afternoon, he was just sitting at his desk and he collapsed. No warning, no drama. This right here really captures that disconnect. We expect that big scene on the left, but the reality for so many young, busy professionals is the quiet, sudden collapse on the right.
So, this brings us to the core of this whole warning. The real danger isn't always in that moment of intense activity. No, the threat is actually building up in the stillness, during those long hours we spend just sitting.
And that's the real question, isn't it? I mean, it's so easy to brush this off if you feel fine, if you look healthy on the outside. But how common is this silent threat really for people who don't have any obvious symptoms?
Well, the numbers are genuinely shocking. In just the last 10 years, there has been a 30% increase in sudden cardiac events among adults between 30 and 45 years old. Just let that sink in for a second. We're talking about people who are in the prime of their careers, people who probably feel invincible.
And think about when this is happening. It's during the most boring, everyday parts of our lives. While we're sleeping, while we're sitting at a desk for hours on end, or just mindlessly scrolling on the couch. That's when the body, which has been under this silent siege, can suddenly just give out.
So, what in the world is actually going on inside our bodies during these quiet moments? Well, it turns out there's a silent battle being waged that most of us are completely unaware of. So let's break down what's really happening under the surface. This right here is basically the perfect storm hitting your heart, and it's all driven by our modern lifestyle. I mean, think about it. Thick blood from dehydration, that's from running on coffee all day and forgetting to drink water. High stress hormones, hello, work pressure and constant deadlines. And silent arterial damage from poor sleep, I think we all know what that feels like. These are the invisible stressors, and they are all building up while you're sitting perfectly still. And this quote just, man, it sums the whole thing up perfectly. On the outside, everything looks fine. You look normal. But on the inside, your heart is weathering this constant low-level attack, and it's being fueled by your everyday habits. So, this all brings us to the cardiologist's direct warning. This isn't just interesting information. It is a serious call to action. The time to pay attention isn't when you finally feel chest pain. The time to act is right now. This is exactly why we hear those tragic stories about people who seemed perfectly fit, people who collapsed without any prior signs of trouble. It's the end result of that silent, internal battle. Their healthy appearance gave absolutely no clue about the crisis that was building inside their arteries. So here's the crucial takeaway, the bottom line. It's all about prevention. You absolutely cannot wait for symptoms to show up, because for way too many people, the first symptom is also the last. The only real solution is to proactively fix the lifestyle stuff that creates this internal risk, before your body is forced to send you a final, undeniable signal. So I'll leave you with this. Take a hard, honest look at your average day. Think about the hours you spend sitting, the nonstop stress, the sleep you're not getting. Is it possible that your routine, the very thing that feels so normal and productive, is secretly posing the biggest risk to your health? It's a heavy question, but it's one we all need to start asking ourselves.